So imagine my surprise when I turned on CNN last night and saw this.
The Reagan Library Republican presidential debate is brought to you by Americans for Balanced Energy Choices.
You're looking at the most abundant fuel in our country. You're looking at an American resource that will help us toward vital energy security into the next century. But most of all, you're looking at 50% of our electricity, coal. It's the resource that generates half of our electricity at a third the cost of most other fuels. It's the fuel that powers our way of life. Learn more about America's Power at americaspower.org.
Okay, Americans for Balanced Energy Choices, AKA the coal industry, one of the major sponsors of CNN and the presidential debates. Bill, what's going on here?
Was that Kool and the Gang in the background there?
Celebrate.
That was pretty amazing. Look, what's going on there is if you own a coal mine, you're quaking in your boots, because if the world ever does take global warming seriously, all we can do is keep that coal in the ground. It is the biggest danger that the world faces. And the idea that something called balanced energy, Americans for Balanced Energy Choice is promoting, it's the equivalent of the low-fat cheeseburger coalition or something like that. There is no such thing as clean coal. Coal is dirty when you mine it, it's dirty when you burn it, and it's dirty now for, as far as we can see into the future, as it wrecks the climate of the planet. And the battle against coal is the key battle of our time.
It's absolutely Orwellian, clean coal.
Balanced energy choice.
Balanced energy choices. Now, how can CNN faithfully report on the problems surrounding coal and CO2 when this is on its homepage? Right there on the screen, you see clean coal as its largest advertiser. Now, Link TV exists for this reason exactly.
That's it. You've put your finger on one of the big difficulties in our media. If you're dependent on coal mines to not just because you're a coal miner, but because you're a broadcaster, then, the person who pays your bills has a pretty large share of your mind, a pretty large share of your attention. And that's why we get the old industries, the old resources, things like coal, that have already made lots of money and have lots of money to spend. That's why we see them owning Congress. It's why we see them owning the media. People haven't yet made their fortune in wind. Maybe someday when they do, they'll be buying their own congressman, and we'll get at least some progress on wind. But for the moment, it's these dirty, old, 19th century industries that are still hanging on. They know they're not going to last forever. They just want another 20 or 25 years to get the last bit of coal out of the ground and the last bit of profit out of it. And the problem with that is that's 20 or 25 years we do not have to spare. We have got to shut them down now.
This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world.